VC, what's up? Hope everyone is doing great. Still self quarantining, having fun, listening to music, all that good stuff. Thought I'd just make another video here. Some more Vinyl Finds. I know you guys are probably getting tired of Vinyl Finds on my video, but it seems like those are the most watched ones. Whenever I do other ones, they're not as watched. But I still got to do a contest entry for Build the Vinylverse that I'm gonna get done very shortly. But yeah, so these are just some more finds. These are all from the record show that I went to in Dallas a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. Finally getting around to showing them. I'll go ahead and start with first one, the one we're listening to right now. I've Known Rivers by Anthony Davis, James Newton, and Abdul Wadud. I heard Abdul Wadud first from Andrew Tales from the Crate. Anytime someone says, their most, Grail album that they finally got it, you kind of take notice, like, why is this a Grail album? So I kind of listened to Mr. Wadud's self-titled album, and, it's definitely out there, a little, free jazzy, obviously, but, anytime I see his name, I'm like, hey, Abdul Wadud, I'm going to pick it up. And this guy at this, record show had, this was $4. So I can't really complain. It's near mint. This is on Gramavision. But Anthony Davis on piano, James Newton on flute, and then Abdul Wadud on cello. I don't know if you guys can hear it right now, but definitely a little different. Pretty cool. So that was $4. So this is another one with Anthony Davis and Abdul Wadud. Episteme, or I don't know. It's French. It looks like. This is also on Gramavision. But this one has a couple more instruments on here. This one has bass, cello, violin. Obviously Abdul Wadud on cello again. George Lewis on trombone. Got some vibes on here. Marimba, xylophone. This one's a trip. Definitely a lot different than what we're listening to now, being that there's more instruments involved in it, but definitely, on the free jazz side of things, a little classical type, with the strings being involved, but mostly free jazz, and it's very cool, just like what we're listening to now, but just a little slight, difference. So these were all $4. I'm still showing. I'll let you know when it's not $4. This one was very cool. Anytime I see the ECM label, I kind of perk up, especially when I see these artists. This is Old and New Dreams. I think that's actually what the group is called. This is self-titled, but it has Don Cherry, Dewey Redman, the great Charlie Hayden, and Ed Blackwell on drums. So, I mean, it's going to be good. This was recorded in Oslo in 1979. Terrific album. One of my, since I heard it, definitely one of my favorite ECM records that I have so far. Besides, a couple of the Keith Jarrett solo stuff. But yeah, this is very nice. They do a couple Ornette Coleman covers, a couple Charlie Hayden originals. I think actually each one of them has a song on here except Blackwell, I believe. No, Ed Black. Each one of them has their own, and then they do two Ornette Coleman, not covers, but originals. So that was a very cool album to get. Next one, also $4. Sonny Rollins that I did not have. There Will Never Be Another You. It's on ABC Impulse. This is a repress, I believe, because this was actually recorded. When I was looking at the back, I was kind of like, this was recorded earlier than that. But this was released in '67, but it was recorded in 1965, so that's like prime Sonny for me, you know what I mean? Recorded at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. So Art Van Gelder did the recording, so it's going to be good. Sonny Rollins, Tommy Flanagan, Bob Cranshaw, Billy Higgins, and Mickey Roker. Very, very nice album. Not one I see very often, but kind of some unreleased Sonny Rollins stuff, so that's kind of cool. This one also $4. Anthony Braxton. It's on Arista. It says New York Fall 1974. Very cool stuff. I've been wanting to pick up some Anthony Braxton, but just the pricing and stuff, and this cover's kind of jacked up. So this was like $2, but very very nice. Got another Anthony Braxton. This one's a little bit better for me than the last one. This is 5 pieces, 1975. Also on Arista. Also a very nice album. A lot of people already know about Anthony Braxton. This is a repress of this. This is Art Ensemble of Chicago Fanfare for the Warriors. This is Atlantic Jazz Lore label. So it was like a repress from, I think, well, the original was 1974, so I'm not sure what the repress was, but it was a nice find. I think I only have a couple Art Ensemble records, so not one I see very often. This one, I believe this is also on, or no, this one's on Geffen. Also $4. Pat Metheny, Ornette Coleman. It's called Song X, but Charlie Hayden, Jack DeJohnette, Denardo Coleman. Very, very cool. This was recorded in 1985 at the Power Station in New York City. I mean, that is a crazy lineup right there. Pat Metheny, Ornette Coleman, Charlie Hayden, Jack DeJohnette. They had me right there, you know what I mean? And it doesn't disappoint. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Also, another Anthony Braxton, but this one is Max Roach featuring Anthony Braxton. I've seen this a couple times in the VC. Never really seen it in a while. This is on Black Saint Records. Very, very nice album. Max Roach, this is kind of later in his career, as you could tell. Kind of met up with Anthony Braxton, did a little cool something. This is 1978. So, very nice. I think this is actually an Italian press. Yep, this is an Italian pressing. So, been wanting to pick up. I passed on these when I first started record collecting a long time ago. I remember the name, and I passed on a couple of her records for they're probably $2 or something. And I still think about it. You know what I mean? I still think about deals that I let go by and stuff like that. Even though I don't. I mean, I have enough records. I don't know why. But so this guy had a couple of these for $4 near mint. So I was pretty happy. Kate Bush. This is the whole story. So it's like a comp on EMI. Just some of her hits. Wuthering Heights, Cloud Busting, The Man with the Child in His Eyes. Just a nice pickup. Really like Kate Bush. Almost like a cult following here in the VC, it seems like. This one is one I see quite often. This is Hounds of Love. Like I said, these were all $4. Good deal. Running Up That Hill, Hounds of Love, Big Sky. Good album. British pop. This one, I've been, obviously Lyle Mays just passed away, but it seems like recently I've been seeing a lot of, his stuff he did with Pat Metheny, which is fine by me. This one is just the Pat Metheny group, Lyle Mays, Mark Egan, Dan Gottlieb. I think it's just self-titled on ECM. It's recorded in 1978 in Oslo. So, yeah, guy had some great ECM records like, obviously you can tell I spent quite a bit of money. These were all $4. This one's Pat Metheny, Lyle Mays. This is one you see more often. As falls Wichita, so falls Wichita Falls. Wichita Falls is a town out here in Texas, so I'm not sure if it has any relation to that, but I like this one quite a bit. This is 1981, also recorded in Oslo, so on ECM. Yeah, very nice. Also one that I see and I'm always like I'm gonna pick it up, but it seems like I never do. This is obviously John McLaughlin's group, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Birds of Fire on Columbia. So right price, and I was like, I need to pick this up already. I need to stop messing around. Jan Hammer is on here. Billy Cobham on percussion as usual. But great group, great album. Probably one of my favorites they did. So it's now the only one that I have in my collection though. So I'm trying to pick up more. I can't remember where I saw this one. I think it was Cheap Heat with El Bicho Feo. If you don't follow his channel, man, he has some great recommendations for cheap jazz. I remember he showed this a long time ago, and just kind of stuck with me because it's kind of a weird name. Zobel, Herman Zobel. So yeah, Herman Zobel, and then the album's called just Zobel. But you know, the right here, Roberta Flack kind of makes a nice little, you know. She says, this album signals the beginning of a marvelous opportunity for the listener and lover of music to hear the difference between good and great music. Thank you, Herman. I love you, Roberta Flack. I mean, Roberta Flack says it's good. But this is, let's see, Herman Zobel on the piano. Got some marimba on here, but definitely got some electric bass and vibes on here. It's a very, very nice album. It's a promo copy on Arista. So give it a listen. It's very, very neat. Alright, now, so that was all from one dealer. Those were all $4 a piece. Now we're moving over to a dealer that was just ridiculous. Let me get them all in order here. This guy had, I mean, I could have spent, you know, a ridiculous amount of money with him, but I tried to resist a little bit. Alright, so first one I'm going to show you is Art Blakey's Jazz Messengers with Thelonious Monk, original stereo pressing on Atlantic. I mean, do I even need to really talk about it? Blakey, Monk, I mean, seriously? Terrific, terrific album. Let me tell you who else was in the Messengers at that time. Johnny Griffin, Bill Hardman, Spanky DeBress. If you haven't heard this, you're missing out. I mean, two monsters at their pinnacle, just recording an album together. I mean, it blew me away. I hadn't even heard it until I put that on. Save that one for a minute. This guy also had nice original press, Duke Pearson, The Right Touch. I think it's original press. I can't remember. Now I'm kind of doubting myself with the Liberty, but I think Liberty was the first press for Duke. He didn't come along till later for Blue Note, I don't think. Could be wrong, but correct me if I'm wrong. I know you will, DC. But Freddie Hubbard, Stanley Turrentine, James Spaulding, who I'm starting to get into lately. You know, I'd always heard the name, but my last video I did, or 2 videos ago, Dave Local Bandography kind of mentioned that, you know, he was the, you know, a bright surprise on that last album that I showed in that video. And, you know, he's right. I started finding more albums that he was on, and I didn't even know I had this one that had him on it as well. But just a very nice album from Duke Pearson. Next one. So anytime I see this label, I try to pick it up. They did some great recordings. I got some Chet Baker, some Eric Dolphy on this label. But this is Art Blakey, The New Jazz Messengers, Buttercorn Lady. This is on Limelight. Terrific, terrific label. This is recorded in Hermosa Beach at the Lighthouse, just like so many jazz records. You know what's funny is I lived in Hermosa Beach for several years. They had the Lighthouse there, and I never went to it. I wasn't even into jazz at the time. It's a damn shame, is what it is. So, yeah, it's a very, very nice album. I can't remember if this says on the back or if I have to open it up. Keith Jarrett on piano, Frank Mitchell, Chuck Mangione on trumpet, Reggie Johnson on bass. So, very cool. Nice gatefold. So, you know, he had this one as well, and I was like, I never even see this one, really. This is Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, Volume 2 at the Jazz Corner of the World. Original mono press. Stereo press. Sorry. Stereo pressing. So now I just got to find Volume 1. But Lee Morgan, Hank Mobley, Bobby Timmons, Jimmy Merritt. That's a heater right there. Awesome. I was shocked to see that, really. Next one, save that one for a second. Also one that hit. All these were so reasonably priced. I could have spent another $400 there, but I limited myself. This is Donald Byrd, still in the original shrink, as you can see. It's original mono pressing, New York, USA. Donald Byrd, Wayne Shorter, Herbie Hancock, Butch Warren, Billy Higgins. One of Donald Byrd's best, in my opinion. Terrific, terrific album. Love it. Next one I've been wanting to pick up for a while, but I didn't want to pay a lot of money for it. You know, it's a great session though. I mean, this is probably top notch his session. Jimmy Smith, The Sermon, probably gotta be one of my favorites. House Party, I think, was also a good one, but it's an original second mono press. But this one has Lee Morgan, Lou Donaldson, Tina Brooks, Jimmy Smith, Kenny Burrell, and Art Blakey. I mean, that's the top of the top people on this album. Terrific, terrific record. My favorite Jimmy Smith, or second favorite. Next one, another heater from the same seller, guys. Mal Waldron Trio on New Jazz, original pressing here. Impressions. Awesome. Mal Waldron, anytime I see it, just buy it, because it's going to be great. Addison Farmer and Al Heath round out the trio on this. Terrific. I never see any Mal Waldron, especially on his New Jazz. I never see any New Jazz in the wild. I couldn't even believe it. Perfect condition. I mean, I got the seller's number too, because also from the same seller, okay? Charles Mingus. 6i. Mono pressing. Still working on this sticker up here. It's a little tough, but other than that, the record is just beautiful, beautiful. Probably my favorite Mingus record. I've been wanting this for so long, but I didn't want to pay crazy prices. I did not pay a crazy price for this, let me tell you. I mean, just a terrific, terrific record. A lot of you guys already know it. Another one, just, I don't see it a whole lot. I know they did a tone poet of this, but I was holding out for an original when I found it. This is Lou Donaldson, Mr. Shingling, Blue Mitchell, Jimmy Ponder, Lonnie Smith, Leo Morris. This is the original stereo. Terrific album here. Liberty Pressing. Another good one from Lou. And then, so this one was the best one that I found with this seller. And I'm even going to tell you what I paid, because it's a crime what I paid for this. So this is Herbie Hancock, Taken Off. Original mono press. And probably VG. So this is, but it plays VG plus. Maybe even excellent this thing plays. But this guy had $15 on this in VG. But it plays fantastic. $15. Amazing. The cover is like near mint almost. I mean, it's just freaking terrific. I mean, this was actually Herbie Hancock's, I think, is it his first album for Blue Note? I want to say it is. But this was actually the first album by any Blue Note artist that featured all original music from that artist. Before that they had maybe done, some covers of other artists, re-records, that kind of thing. This is the first album on Blue Note to have all new material from that artist. So he wrote everything on here. And between this and Maiden Voyage, I don't know what's better, but this is up there for me. Alright, so right next to that guy was another seller who had some great jazz in here. These were all, it was like 4 for $20 or something. So this is Thelonious Monk, Brilliant Corners. Nice mono press, not mono press, but OJC press, I'm sorry. Terrific album. Still holding out for an original, but for $5, I had to get it into my life, as Tunes from the Man Cave says. Also the same seller, Billy Taylor Trio, A Touch of Taylor. Original on Prestige. Billy Taylor, Earl May, Percy Bryce. Beautiful album. $5. And the last one I got, the set seller for $5. Intermodulation, Bill Evans and Jim Hall. It's a terrific Bill Evans album right here. It's on Verve. I think this is a mono pressing. Terrific album. Love it. So, nice Bill Evans to round out this video with. That was my haul from the same record show, and I could have spent more, you guys. I mean, I could have spent a lot more. So, hope you guys enjoyed. That was a Jazz Heat video for me. I mean, I find some good stuff, but I don't find that kind of stuff all the time. And I got the guy's number, so I need to hit him up for some more. He had some stuff I was interested in. He said he had more at home. I bundled all those that were already cheap. And he goes, well, since you're buying so many, I'm gonna knock. He knocked another like $30 off. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to buy more. Anyways, that's my Jazz Heat video. So yeah, take care, and hope everyone's doing well. Stay safe, clean, the whole 9 yards. Take care.